जी, नमस्कार। मैं टीम फार्मा की तरफ से डॉक्टर संतोष कुमार वर्मा आज वर्ल्ड फार्मासिस्ट डे के उपलक्ष्य में आयोजित लेक्चर सीरीज के छठे भाग में अपने परम आदरणीय प्रोफेसर ए नागप्पा सर का स्वागत करता हूं। सर किसी परिचय के मोहताज नहीं है। सर अपने आप में ही एक बड़ी हस्ती हैं फार्मेसी के। सर नेशनल प्रेसिडेंट हैं ACPI के, और हमारे विशेष अनुरोध पे सर ने अपना बहुमूल्य वक्त हमें दिया है, तो इसके लिए सर का टीम फार्मा लोग की तरफ से साधुवाद है। सर आपका स्वागत है इस मंच पे। मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि वर्ल्ड फार्मासिस्ट डे के इस उपलक्ष्य में जो टीम फार्मा लोग ने लेक्चर सीरीज का आयोजन किया, जैसा कि मैंने बताया कि ये लेक्चर सीरीज का ये छठा अंक है, जो सुबह से ही चल रहा है। इसमें सर के साथ टीम फार्मा लोग की तरफ से मिस्टर तरुण कुमार शर्मा जी मॉडरेट करने वाले थे, जो हमारे टीम फार्मा लोग के एक मेंबर हैं हिमाचल प्रदेश से। चूँकि आज मौसम ज़्यादा खराब है, विपरीत परिस्थिति है, वहाँ पे भारी बारिश हो रही है, तो किसी वजह से वो कनेक्ट नहीं हो पा रहे, तो उनके बिहाफ पे सर के साथ इस कार्यक्रम को मैं आगे बढ़ा रहा हूँ। तो सर आज सर ने हमें जो विशेष अपने अनुभव के आधार पे और अपने जो इनका रहा है कंट्रीब्यूशन, उसमें से एक छोटा सा मोती हमें निकाल के दिया है, जो कि कम्युनिटी कंसेप्ट ऑफ फार्मास्यूटिकल केयर फॉर एवरीवेयर। तो सर से अनुरोध करूंगा कि अपने अनुभव और ज्ञान से हम सभी दर्शकों और टीम फार्मा लोग को इस बात से लाभान्वित करें। प्लीज सर, ओवर टू यू नगप्पा सर।
Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, this program is our own brainchild. Herein, if there are any principals, head of the departments, or anybody who wants to start this program in their college, they have to just give me a number, and it is a zero expense program for the college, for the teachers, and for the students. And here we will enter the community and give the services of pharmacy practice. So this is based on our own experience. The ACPI, which started in 2007, have given community care in its own vicinity and was successful. So what we thought is we must also provide it on every pharmacy college which is to their community nearby. So community, if you are in the university, there are so many other departments, and there are if there is a village, if there is a anybody who is living it, so how do we want to connect it? What is the concept of community connect? I would like to explain. In community connect, there will be a center which will be recognized by the ACPI, and the ACPI will provide the complete know-how and backup for the conduct of the program. And it is not one day program, it is a continuous program. All the registered pharmacists of the present in the School of Pharmacy as lecturers, as faculties, they will motivate the students and they will take them to the community. And also they will connect with the retail pharmacy there. Then they provide the services, and there's a lot of things what we can be done, and this is the basic concept of community connect. And the persons who does 2 month service, a student who does is considered as an intern, and internship certificate will be provided, that too free of cost, no expenses for the students. And then the mentors who work with the students, them also the mentorship certificates will be provided, and there is no membership of anything required to run this program in your institute. So with this, I will start the main program. The Community Connect has come out because we are seeing a lot of problems in the use of drugs, because drugs are not like any commodities or any food items. So we have to treat with them. We have to take them with cautiousness. Because the one of the leading causes of death, according to WHO, 1 in 10 of the leading causes of death and disability are the ADRs, which can be prevented. That's the beauty of it. How can we prevent it? In high income countries like USA, Canada, or in Europe, they count it. So that is, every 10 patients is harmed while receiving the hospital care. So that 1 in every 10 patients will be harmed, and the harm can be caused by a range of adverse events, with nearly 50% of them being preventable. Please understand, being preventable. So each year, 134 million ADRs occur in hospitals in low and middle income countries. That is in the hospitals, but outside, how much it happens, it must be more than that, resulting in 2.6 million deaths. Another study has estimated that around the 2/3 of all adverse events are resulting from unsafe care, and the years lost to disability and death occurs in the low and middle income countries like India. See, what I want to say, there is no monitoring of the blood sugar or the blood pressure, and the consequences of uncontrolled BP and unmanaged blood sugars are very horrible. From tip to toe, one is susceptible to suffering and death. This is the what I can tell you. So we can prevent it. When we go as a force all over India, thousand and more schools with the community connect program, if they start addressing the people as per the law, government law says that pharmacy practice guidelines 2015 and 2021, pharmacists are eligible to provide the pharmaceutical care. All registered pharmacists can provide the pharmaceutical care. But however, we have not woken up, and we are still making our people suffer because of our laziness or inactivity. I don't know. So we have to come out of this and give the service to the people. So can I have the next slide, please? Can I have the next slide, please? I don't want to explain all these things. I want to go to the law. Next, please. Next, sir. Next. या ये गैजेट नोटिफिकेशन देख लीजिए, 1 मिनट, फिर go to previous slide. So this is the gazette notification of the Government of India under the Pharmacy Act. They say that the pharmacist is eligible to provide the practice of pharmacy. And what is practice of pharmacy is defined as interpretation. Means we have to interpret the prescription. Evaluation. We have to evaluate the prescription and implementation of the dispensing medical prescription and drug orders. So now, participation in drug and device selection, which is usually done by the doctors. In that also pharmacists have a role to play, but again, we have to become experts. Then only they will allow us to do all such things. Drug administration, which nurses does, that also we have been allowed. Drug regimen review, this pharmacist only can do. Drug regimen review, this whether what drug is given and how it is used and all these things we have to take it. Drug or drug related research, this also is a domain of the pharmacy practice. So we are, whoever is the registered pharmacist, he is entitled to do all these pharmacy practice services, and pharmacy practice means that. Next slide, please. And it is also amended in 2021 to the same act. So let me this thing. So code of ethics, very important. Dharmo rakshati rakshata. So if you follow the dharma, the people will observe and community will observe and comes and your self rescue whenever you are in danger. One example I want to quote here. Actually, Nagappa is my father's name, and my name is Ananta. My PhD guide said that your certificate it is Ananta Naik Nagappa. So Ananta Naik he हट गया Nagappa लगा दिया. इसलिए से because I am very happy he was a successful pharmacist, community pharmacist, without any having degree. In 1955, he was given 3 weeks training in the drug control department of Karnataka. Along with him, so many pharmacists were they allowed to practice. So that was the thing. Education facility was not there. So like that, they give a refresher course and give a certificate. So in those times, the pharmacists were not there because there was no proper training was there. He was SSLC, he passed out. So in those 1955 SSLC pass out, people who were in English and undergo refresher course were given license. So what is so special about my father as a community pharmacist, I would like to highlight here. So in the community, we see that nobody recognizes us, and we do our service, and community is not existing, it's not live like that. Complaints I have heard, but it is not like so. Community is very observant and but silent. Will not come and tell you every now and then you have done a good service and all. But if you are giving service, everybody in the community are watching you without your knowledge. They make an opinion about you, and whenever they need, they will come and take your help. So this is what has happened. My father studied no correct way of pharmacy, but again he discussed with the medical representatives who used to visit him, and he became so expert that many doctors used to consult him. I remember in 1963 he used to. I when my become an 8-year old, so I was going and sitting in his shop, and I see that many doctors used to come and ask him about the drugs, and also they were getting a lot of feedback, and he also learning. It's like lifelong learning pharmacy. He was like that. So he became a very knowledgeable with a meager background by his own efforts. Then what happened? There was a Hafkin Institute which was having a snake bite, anti-snake bite venom, and its cost was 500 rupees in 1963 or 1964. 500 rupees was a very big amount, and then he used to keep it always in his refrigerator of the medical shop, and others were laughing at him because how much money he can make by selling that medicine. Hey, we don't know why he is keeping and all. But whenever a snake bite case comes, they will refer my father's shop. So they will come and take the shop. And then my father became this thing. Even Davangere also, nobody was keeping. So Haryana and Davangere, neo medical shop, there was only always available the anti-snake venom. Many times it comes. Several times it used to go expire because expiry was short-lived, 6 months only. So like that, he wanted to save the life. So several times I have seen in the mid of the night, villagers, surrounding villagers will come and knock our home, and my father will go there and give the anti-snake venom and save a patient's life. So he became a hero and went on doing his business. And in due course, he became very much popular, and he made several diversifications in his business. He started paddy, he started fertilizers and everything. And then the things which go high, they have to come down. So he had a loss, and he had also defective staff, and he has to come down and become a pauper. All of a sudden, he became a pauper. And in those times, when my father came back to his medical shop again to see that there is no medicines there, and then the suppliers and the medical representatives and the people, common man in and around, wanted to see that the my father remained in business. So they used to come with prescription and check whether the medicine is available in my shop. Then they used to go to next shop if it is not. So like that, within 6 months, my father revived his business and became a successful pharmacist. What the message is here, that the community by which his ethical practice, he has won the confidence of the people. They only wanted to save him, and they only saved him. And this is how the story goes on. So this is what my experience is. So I believe in the community reaction and reception, and that's why I had started an association of community farmers of India. Here in India, we don't have the pharmacy practice, although it has come in 2015, and the amendments came in 2021. Nobody is bothered about this thing. So as a result of it, the unethical people are doing a lot of business here, and the all corporate have entered, netmeds, all those things have entered, and uh, killing the medical shop business here. And actually, it is not a business. So as I've seen all across the world, I had an opportunity to go on various occasions to USA, Mexico, Chile, and Canada several times, and Europe and England, Australia, New Zealand, all these countries. I have seen the pharmacists enjoy a special role by giving a pharmaceutical care. That's why the community connect. So let us connect ourselves to community and give the service to the people. Then only they will recognize who is pharmacist. See why doctors, nurses are being praised, because they do a visible service to the public. We want to do invisible service. We want to manufacture the medicines in a very high class manner, and we want to supply it to America and Europe and all these countries. But again, it is all in the background. We are not in the forefront of the public. So public doesn't recognize us. As a result of it, we are remaining backwards. Can I have the next slide, please? So even we can collect money, because this is a different and difficult model. But again, the law gives us an opportunity. Sir, can I have the last class, right? Chapter 2. So uh, it gives us it gives us the opportunity to collect money from the for the services. Again, I would like to mention here, in Canada, the government itself pays the money for patient counseling. In Australia, they will pay the money, and they have got the video recording and how much time the pharmacist spends with the patient. Accordingly, the money will be paid. So why? Because it is very important. Patient counseling is very important. In USA also, the insurance companies are there. They pay this thing, because they know that if we do not invest in the social pharmacy, the life of the patient becomes miserable, and all this activity of pharmaceutical industry, pharmacy profession, depends on the ultimate the quality of life of the patients. So that's why we have to be very careful. So these countries have learned it, and they're investing heavily in social pharmacy. But our pharmacy, our Indian pharmacy. So we made the pharmacovigilance. What is pharmacovigilance in pharmacy practice? Let me put a very this thing. The pharmacovigilance is counting the adverse drug reaction which has happened already. Whereas pharmacy practice is prevention of the pharmacy for adverse drug reaction. So now pharmaceutical industry should also made compulsory to make provisions for pharmacy practice. Government also spend money on pharmacy practice. And all these things will lead to a revolution in the people's mind. People will not indulge in wrong use of medicines and land up in problem. Can I have the next slide, please? So responsibility of registered pharmacist is conduct of counseling. So I will come to it in the case study later. May I have the next slide, please? So the chapter 6 is about the interrelationship and what is the role of community pharmacists in public health. Can I have the next slide, please? Can I have the next slide, please? So here also there is unnecessary competition, and 30%, 40% discount on medicines is being sold. I question this uh, logic. Are we want to save money on medicines, or are we want to have a good health by using the medicines? So accordingly, we must decide, and we must not pray into the discount era, discount the discount what you call discount का लालची में नहीं आना चाहिए. तो आके लोग अपने हेल्थ को कर. See, we have found out last month only there is in Baddi also there is a fake factory. So like that, these ऑनलाइन फार्मेसी में ये बहुत कुछ हो सकता है, because there is no control and you don't know if something goes wrong, whom you catch. Because community connect में क्या है, community pharmacist है तुम्हारे पास, and we can take cognizance of the report. So this is how I have got very serious reservations about the community, the online pharmacies. It should not work in India because of there is no infrastructure to monitor them, whether pharmacist services are available in that. All these things are very chain pharmacy, all right, they do discount it, okay. But the online pharmacy, especially the net, the pharmacy एडवर्टाइजमेंट आता है तो मेरे को बहुत हंसी आता है. लोग बोल रहे हैं आपने घर में 30-50% का डिस्काउंट देने के लिए आ रहा हूँ. What is this nonsense? Are we want to health, or are we want to save money? This is a question one has to ask everybody, and we must. And why people are going to online pharmacy, I will also tell you, because it is the non-participation of the pharmacist in the patient counseling, in the pharmacy practice and pharmaceutical care. If we start giving it 100%, they will not go anywhere. They will also ask you which doctor is good, which nurse is good, which hospital is good. Such a thing I have seen in my own eyes. So such experiences I have got. That's why please try to go near people, community connect, and you go in a systematic manner. So we have got 1,000 schools, and I want to give seminar, this kind of seminar in every school, and I want to follow up, I want to use the know-how, I want to see the community connect program runs across the country, everywhere. So it becomes a new phase of the and opportunities. Lot of job opportunities are there in the community connect, and you don't imagine the limitations of this. In USA and all, they are pharmacists. Canada also, Europe also, and England also, and so many countries, Australia, all these developed economies are enjoying a very good respect along with the money as a consultation fee. Why we are not? Okay, you see, the patient will not ask you a very cryptic question or research question and all these things. He wants to use the medicine and he will ask a very simple question, and you can answer it very well, and you are holding your knowledge. I'm talking about all the teachers holding your knowledge and not using it for the public health. Who is this public? Your own, तुम्हारा घर में है लोग, पेशेंट्स किधर नहीं है. You have to help your own mother, father, and avoid them from ADRs. Please help them. Please take it seriously what I'm telling. Start the community connect program. Go as a this thing. See, united, we have to go. Where the unity is there. So let us unite the ACPI, like that many any other organization, and student and faculty and the college and a medical shop. All these things have to do it, and we are giving internship certificates for the 2 months to 6 months to a student, and also to mentorship certificate to the teachers who does all these things. So there is this misconduct and punishment also mentioned in the Act, Pharmacy Practice Regulations 2015. So there is a misconduct and punishment also been mentioned there. Can I have the next slide, please? So this is the declaration. So can I have the next slide, please? Yeah. Yeah. Can I have the next slide, please? So this is an example where a student from Kathmandu University came to Manipal. I was a faculty in Manipal, and she came and then she wanted to do a we wanted to find out what is the value of pharmaceutical care, why we should do it, what benefit the patients are going to get. She started, she came and let us, we took a diabetes, and also we recruited around 60 patients. So in that time, when she came, the lot of rains, and despite of all the odds, she went and see around 60 patients in their own homes and studied their way of living, way of using medicines, storing medicines, all these things. She improved on them, and within 3 months, the two batches she did, and all the patients felt very happy. And we wanted to make it a document, so we used the quality of life instrument AdQuil, and she opened a clinic, and that clinic also she closed it because after 1 year she had other important work, family work, so she left that. But in 1 year she gave such a good experience that people used to come to her to know about drugs, prescriptions. This all happened in Pune. So she belongs to Pune, and we started this clinic, and this is inaugural day, this thing clinic, and then it went on. So can I have the next slide, please? So this is about the overall quality of life study done by the Devyani Babode. She is a M.Pharm in pharmaceutical care from Kathmandu University. She came all the way with a personal recommendation of his brother, Mr. Girish Bende, and she did a 6-month study, and she found out that the pharmaceutical care have got a good impact on quality of life. I am telling you, quality of life. See, the disease might be under control, clinical control. That is not the idea. Sugar levels may be all right, but quality of life, how the patient is feeling about. See, when she used to go and meet the patient, they used to express happiness, and she used to personally interact with the patient, and patient used to share so many things. And then after the project is over, and then anything we started means it come to end, and afterwards we were become the very much popular there, and we used to get the invitation for their we became their family members. Same thing happened in Canada also. There is a Pradeep Damodaran who is a community pharmacist in Kamloops, a small village uh, uh, in Vancouver province. So there I went on some occasion, and I went to his pharmacy. I saw that people are waiting after he dispensed the drug. People did not go. They are waiting in queues, and they wanted to learn from the Pradeep Damodaran and his wife. She is also pharmacist, and wanted to learn how to use the medicines, because nowadays in Google everything will get, and no, not like that. So they have built such a image, reputation, and trust that they they respect the pharmacist like anything. So all the patients, after dispensing, they came with the drug, this thing, and they calmly, quietly, they listened carefully, and then went without. In India, such a thing should also happen, because our patients also use the same drugs, and why they should face an adverse drug reactions, isn't it? So this is the thing. And then can I have the next slide, please? So there are other experiments. Can I have the next slide, please? So this is the pharmaceutical care card. We gave it to the patients because we wanted to see that the patient will get interested in the monitoring of the diseases. So for this, we made this card and gave it to the patient, and then entered their personal details. On the flip side, we know that what is there. We entered. Next slide, please. Next slide. In the other side, we have, sorry, the slide. Yeah, other side we documented the blood sugar levels, and then all the 3 blood sugar levels, fasting, postprandial, and random blood sugar levels, and their BP, everything documented and kept in their home. And patient used to see the card and try to understand what is happening there. So nowadays we have got a app, Android में app है, उसमें आप you can enter the blood sugar level whenever you measure it, and you can decide, a patient can decide whether he can eat how much he can eat and what he has to eat, so that the blood sugar levels remain in control. So this is how the things have changed. And then it was in 2010, now 2022, we are having the app and all these things. So we can use that. Can I have the next slide, please? So can I have these are all the definitions. I don't want to spend time on this. Please, can I have the next slide, please? So this is a very important practice model proposed by World Health Organization and the FIP. FIP, you all know, the Federation of International Pharmacy. Two of the Indian professors have also contributed to this document. In chapter 2, they give a model how to practice pharmacy. In this, a patient comes and meets a pharmacist, and pharmacist analyzes the prescription from the point of drug factors, disease factors, and lifestyle factors. And after interaction with the patients, he makes a customized plan, and that plan is explained to the patient and asks him to come and meet after 1 week or 10 days or 15 days or anything. And after 10 days, the patient will come back and he will explain what has happened. And after that, the pharmacist will be able to realize where things have gone wrong. So then he will suggest, if it is a drug related problem, he will solve himself. And if it is a disease related problem, a diagnosis related problem, he will contact the doctor. Drug administration problem, he will contact the nurse. So accordingly, everybody will be getting their own share of business or opportunity here. Can I have the next slide, please? So can anybody read for me this case? Santosh ji?
Sir, Mr. W and a 25-year-old woman has had gastrointestinal acid release disorder diagnosed by endoscopy. Mrs. W has a history of asthma, hypertension, and duodenal ulcer. Her current drug therapy includes uh, amlodipine 10 mg in the morning, salbutamol inhaler 2 puff as required, biclomethasone inhaler 200 mcg twice a day daily, and theophylline 300 mg twice daily. Mrs. W has recently undergoes successful H. pylori eradication therapy, which has been conferred by carbon urea breath test. Uh, Mrs. W smoked 10 cigarettes a day, have a body mass index of 35, and does not drink alcohol.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Santosh. Can I have the next slide, please? I'll explain this case now. See, I told you that whenever the patient approaches the pharmacy, a pharmacist should analyze as per the three important factors: lifestyle factors, drug factors, and disease factors. See, lifestyle factors, there are, she is obese, highly obese. No doubt, he is having, her body mass index is 35. And counseling point is she smokes cigarettes. See, when a person smokes, it contains nicotine, and nicotine will cause the sphincter, esophageal lower sphincter, to relax. When that sphincter relaxes, the acid will bump into esophagus and cause a burning sensation. And she is also very much uh, fed up with the burning sensation of the esophagus. Now we have to take this as an opportunity, and we must tell her that can you reduce the cigarette by 5 and see if there is a reduction in the burning sensations? So when she does this experiment herself, she will realize that her burning sensations episodes have come down. So then she will definitely appreciate you for the suggestion, and and also she will stop smoking. And smoking stopping is a big challenge. And like this, we have to attend the issues of patient counseling. We must engage the patient in their this thing, and then only they will understand. Coming to the drug factors, so she is having a BP, and she is given calcium channel blockers. The calcium channel blockers also cause the relaxation of the sphincter. And why calcium channel blocker only? In the therapy of hypertension, there are so many drugs are available. So there are so many drugs. We can suggest a doctor that this calcium channel you are giving is affecting the quality of life by causing the relaxation of the lower sphincter of the esophagus. Can you prescribe any other drug instead of it, so that calcium channel blocker will not cause the relaxation of the sphincter? So doctors immediately appreciates you for your insight or forethought, and changes the medicine to a diuretic. So then the quality of life of the patient, the burning sensation, and this thing also is goes up. The third factor is the disease factor. So she is being treated for asthma. So maybe in many of these cases, what will happen? Asthma is due to stimulated, acid stimulated asthma. To illustrate this, I have taken an imaginary case today. I'll explain you here. What happened was there was a naughty boy in the chemistry lab, and he wanted to teach a lesson to his classmates and to the professor. So while going, before closing the lab, he went inside, sneaked inside silently, opened up all the acid bottles, and he came out, and the attender came and locked her. The next day, when the lab was opened, everybody was coughing. And everybody, why? Because the acid fumes are all in the lab, and exhaust fan was on, and then that was all. But here also the same situation is there. When she has relaxation of the thing, acid fumes enter the esophagus to the windpipe, and then cause a stimulation, and it is acid induced asthma. As she is cured by the acid induced asthma, which has been confirmed by the H. pylori, the carbon urea breath test. I'll also explain you carbon urea breath test. The H. pylori makes an enzyme called as urease, and human beings don't make that urease. And if you feed a radio labeled urea to the patient, the urease present in the stomach by the H. pylori, it will break down into the into the carbon dioxide and ammonia, and carbon dioxide can be tested by scintillating apparatus. So if there is no radio labeled carbon dioxide detected, then we can say that she is cured of hyperacidity. That's what the confirmation has come now. Now what we have to do is, so as you know that, so she may not be having asthma at all. Now these episodes are not there, and for that thing we have to take a P flow meter, to measure the respiratory volumes. So if you ask her to puff through it, and then the P flow meter will show, if it shows the respiratory volumes to a healthy level, then asthma may not be there in her. In such cases, what we have to do, we have to suggest the doctor to review the asthma. On our suggestion, doctor will review, and I also find the asthma is not there. Then he will. There is no need for any anti-asthmatic drug. Theophylline is not required. Salbutamol is not required. Beclomethasone is not required. What a big contribution to the patient, isn't it? So we have to do pharmacy practice like this. So this is what the things are there. Can I have the Community Connect program photographs? Can I next slide, please? Next slide, please. And now what is happening in our country is we are having a product-oriented approach. See, there are so many products are there, and people are selling the product, and they are glorifying the product, and this is how the things are going on. So this is not correct. Actually, the should be patient-oriented approach. So uh, we have to see that the patient will be focused rather than the product is oriented. This may not be liked by the pharmaceutical industry, but again, times have changed. Adverse drug reactions are on the rise as per the pharmacovigilance report. So we have to control this. It is not a correct approach to have the product oriented approach, and patient oriented approach is the discipline what we have to follow. Can I have the next slide, please? So this is a patient-centric care, and we have to bring the patient-centric care by our own engagement of the pharmacist. Community Connect program, we can make it without spending a lot of money. We can create a revolution in the country by providing a proper care to the patients. I appeal to all of you to support and strengthen this Community Connect program. Thank you. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Just a moment. So can I have the next slide, please? Because these slides, I don't want to waste time on this because I know. Next slide, please. Yeah, home medication review. So medication, there are so many issues, and we all know about it. And then can I have the next slide, please? So drug disease, all these things are there. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So this is an important slide. There are few photographs wherein it will give you an idea what is Community Connect. So instead of medical shop, we are going directly to the patient's home, and then we are addressing the patient needs, and we are finding them every week or every 10 days. We used to meet them. Here I want to tell you a case wherein a patient was a 70-year-old lady, and husband is also not very healthy. He is 75-year-old, and what happened there? The wife was bedridden, and she's having energy less. Lack of energy was there. So in such a circumstances, we went there and we saw the patient, and we told that, so don't why nobody is there in the home? Because we usually ask that question, and they said that my children are in the Middle East, and both the children are in the Middle East, and they will send a lot of money to us. That is not required here. What we are finding is difficulty in managing our healthcare here. So we can servants also, they won't come and do it properly, and we are spending a lot of money on medicines. Still there is no improvement. They said. Then we asked her to show the prescriptions, and we saw the prescription. There was a B complex, there was a B complex capsules, B complex tablets, mineral tablets, and the injection. A 70-year-old lady, intramuscular injection weekly once. You must understand, the lady, 70-year-old, has a little muscle mass. It was a very painful experience for her. So we said, so we also found that, and she has no adequate protein in her diet. We wanted to make the protein in her diet. So what we said, you can take one fistful of moong and then eat it for 15 days. So moong, they asked how to eat moong. It's very hard. No. Soak it in overnight. You soak it. In the morning you eat it. Isn't it? So 15 days you eat it, and then when next visit when we went there, the lady was very agile. She had having a lot of energy, and then she made tea for all the seven of us. So all seven of us to serve tea by her, and she was so much grateful that and she was consulting so many doctors, so many things. They're all looking from the point of disease only. They're not looking at the nutrition. So in our country, nutrition is a major factor which affects the quality of life. And then this moong experiment we extended to the young girls of 14 and 15 age girls who used to come to the medical shop and ask for the painkillers. Then also we said that you can use buy a half kilo of moong. मूंग दाल नहीं है, मूंग सबूत मूंग बोलते हैं ना उसको, ग्रीन ग्राम है ना. So that one you soak it in water and eat it, and then they become very healthy. So like this, the nutrition is neglected, and due to lack of nutrition, lack of protein, the backache and muscle ache, body pain, all this comes. When at least when we address this problem issue, they will be very much cured. And further, we extended this to. I'm telling you why, because these are the experiences of mine, and which has helped the me. And also, although my background is pharmacology, I think that when I wanted to help people, somehow God will come to my rescue and my knowledge will come to my use. So one of my colleagues was having a irreparable acidity. Every time acidity was bothering him, and then he came to me, and he has seen all in KMC means Kasturba Medical College. Lot of doctors are there, lot of advancement is there. Everything he has seen, and he could not overcome that. And then also I asked him allopathy, homeopathy, all these things he had gone, but nobody has checked his nutrition. And when I asked him, what is your nutrition? Sir, my घर में तो we are South Indians है, हमारे को इडली डोसा वड़ा ये भी खाते हैं, और उसमें I found out that the protein scarcity was the major reason, and he had 35%. One should eat 35% of the diet in the protein every day, but he was eating 5 to 10% or maximum 15%, which is not sufficient. And I also thought that why acid is secreted. So it is the first year B.Pharm we learned that the acid is secreted for the major for digestion of the protein. When you don't give the work to the acid, what it will do? It will cause harm. And I suggested him to go for the green gram again, and reluctantly he agreed. And I asked him, for 1 month you have to eat. After 1 month, his disease was gone, which was not solved by our modern medicine. So like that, we have our own intuition, we got our own knowledge. When you wanted to help somebody, then automatically the good things come to your mind. The best professional practice will come to your mind, and you will act like a superhero. And how I thought like this, still I wonder. And whenever the patient comes to me for help, I must help him, and I will use all my knowledge, and whatever knowledge I study from first B.Pharm to PhD or BSc oil, that will come to my help. So this green gram model also helped a villager to solve his obesity problem, and he was obese. He came to us in the community connect program, where we were measuring the BP and the blood sugar, monitoring these things in front of a medical shop. I'm thankful to medical shop owner Premchand Pai. It is in front of the medical college building. So there we used to gather in the evening whenever we are going in rotations. So I'm thankful to my faculties also. So I was HOD of pharmacy practice. And also, I became a professor in the pharmacy management. Even then, that time also, they used to come and join with me, and we did a lot of social pharmacy experiments. And with that experiments, we got this kind of confidence. So the person, the villager, came and asked me, showed his prescription. Lot of weight losing statins and all these things were there. And he said that, sir, how I to take all these things. And also, I suggested, I checked his diet again. I found scarcity of proteins, and again I told him to eat green grams for 6 months. And after 6 months, he started losing weight, and now he is fine. So like this, we have to help the people. They got a lot of ignorance, misconceptions, myths, and a community pharmacist, a live community pharmacist, can help in their day-to-day problems. Can I have the next slide, please? So these are all our experiments. So bedridden patient is helped by a student. It's a great learning opportunity for a student, because you are going to bring the patient in, the intern or the student in front of the patient, and discuss with him or her, and learn their problems and help the knowledge. So practice of knowledge is very, very important, and it's going on. Yeah, can I have the next slide, please? Yeah. So he is not the pharmacy practice fellow. The people have got a misconception. He is a B Farm, and has a lot of interest to do community services. We took him, and he has done a good service to the public. And we used to receive the. I told you, we used to, after giving our service, we became the heroes. And also they gave me a nickname like Moong ka Doctor. I don't mind. Moong is required, and it is the people's affection. They call me as Moonka Doctor. I accept it humbly, with humility. And further, what happened, I tell you. Next slide, please. So the community, they recognized us, and they, as it was for an NGO, no money was charged. So people wanted to pay their regards and respect for our services. So they started inviting to their marriages, to their family functions, and we became a part of the family. Same thing I observed in the Kamloops housewarming ceremony of a patient. Pradeep took me there when I was in Canada. So I have still photographs I didn't put here. Anyway, thank you. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is the service where we are going to analyze the prescription and patient in patient's home. It's called as home medication review. It is very, very important. And because patients, they, after suffering with the disease, they lose interest in life. They don't consider that the anything miracle can happen and change their quality of life. So here we wanted to do some experiments, and we did it, and we had a good response. Can I have the next slide, please? Next slide, please. Benefits of HMR. Okay, it's all this thing. So it's going to expand the professional services, and patients. It's going to improve the knowledge, dosage, frequency, indication. See, you are going, especially in the geriatrics and in the young mothers, the childs, whom they find very difficulty to move out of the house. This can be very useful. Yeah. Government cost saving will be there, reduce wastage and unused medicines, that will be there. Improved perception towards pharmacy department services, and less pharmacovigilance ADRs will be there. Can I have the next slide, please? So these are all the international studies which proves the value of home medication review and pharmacy practice. Can I have the next slide, please? So many studies have performed all across the globe, and they say that the pharmacists should participate in community pharmacy activities. Community connect is a must, and these are all the various services, various documentary evidence where they have done it. Can I have the next slide, please? So where different papers are there. Can I have the next slide, please? So these are all the summary of the studies. home medication reviews. Yeah. 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 So success comes from the attitude. We should have an attitude that we must help the patients. Money should not be the attitude. We must help the patients, and without patients, we are nowhere. We have no existence. So that attitude, if it is there, our knowledge and skills are there, and we are going to help. We are going to practice it. This is the idea of the whole Community Connect program. I think I have made clear. Can I have the next slide, please? Thank you very much for the patient listening. So, if there are any questions, I would like to take it up.
Thank you, Nagappa sir, for a nice and excellent session regarding community pharmacy. I think I strongly believe our audience definitely benefited with your enlightening
So, one
regarding.
request to your audience:
Yes, sir, please.
if they are having any college, if they are faculty, ask them to connect me. My number you can give, WhatsApp number.
Sir.
It is I'll repeat here: 9900407416. Can you please flash on the screen?
One second. This is not yet. Amit ji, please display the number of Nagappa sir on the screen. You just write on this slide also. On the next slide, you just type the number.
So I am ready to help the colleges, faculty, students to start the Community Connect program. It is legal and it is
Sir,
exciting. We can learn so many things. Yeah, it is here only.
yes, yes,
Uh,
yes, yes. Sir, from the side of Team Pharma, because
uh,
all of the member are
uh,
belonging from some of the institute, including myself also, with the
uh.
grace of God and blessing of you seniors. I am also a dean of Quantum School of Health Sciences nowadays.
Oh,
Uh,
why can't you start with your college?
Definitely, sir.
We will conduct a
I
1 hour seminar, and
Mhm.
then I will make a team, and WhatsApp we will make a group, and we
Yes,
will
sir.
start visiting the community.
Yes, sir. In the Uttarakhand region, I will
Yeah,
take up your offer as an opportunity and gift from your side on the occasion of World
it
Pharmacy
is not
Day.
gift, sir.
Uh,
It is my humble request. I
sir,
am
sir,
not a
sir,
big person.
this
It
is
is the
your
service I have to do.
humbleness. This is your humbleness, and I accept it as a blessing from your side. Definitely,
Thank you very much.
I just start from my university, and from this forum, I also request to all the audience which are uh, of the responsible position in their organization, please take up the opportunity which is offered by Honorable Nagappa sir,
Sir,
and start.
sir, sir,
Yes,
I
sir.
will do this lecture. I will do this service till the end of my life. Don't worry, I am always there.
Yes, sir. But we just benefited short of time. बहुत जल्दी ही हम आपके इस अपॉर्चुनिटी का लाभ
Sir,
लेते हुए अपने सोसाइटी को.
this is the 15th college, 15th lecture I am giving in this month.
Okay, sir. This is
Thankful
your this.
to Amit sir.
Ji. He is enthusiastic person and
Yeah,
doing always
lot
something
of
new.
work.
Something new conceptual work for the pharmacy profession.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
जी सर प्लीज थैंक यू सर मैं फिर से वर्ल्ड फार्मासिस्ट डे के अवसर पे जो ये लेक्चर सीरीज का जो छठा पार्ट चल रहा है उसमें आपके आने और अपने लाइटिंग देने को लेते हुए तो मैं टीम फार्मा लोग की तरफ से और अपने ऑडियंसेस की तरफ से आपको थैंक्स कहना चाहूँगा कि आप इतने बिजी शेड्यूल में से भी आपने वक्त निकाला और हमें वक्त दिया सर धन्यवाद आपका नमस्कार है आपका आशीर्वाद ऐसे ही हम लोग पे बना रहे और हम लोग कृतार्थ होते रहें सर वर्ल्ड फार्मासिस्ट डे के अवसर पे पुनः बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं, और इसी तरह से हम प्रोफेशन का भला करते रहें। आपका आशीर्वाद और बड़े जीवनों का आशीर्वाद बना रहे सर।
थैंक यू सर।
धन्यवाद जी, प्लीज।